You're on the FANATIX podcast channel right here.
Right.
Yeah, it's got both of us in there, right?
I can't see. I don't have my glasses.
That's it. You're good. All right, guys. What's going on? Haven't talked to you guys in quite some time. Been busy doing the garage. We are in the new space, but I'm going to bring the video of the entire garage finale renovation to you guys probably in a couple of days. But it's my son Cam right here. You guys know him, and he's got his own YouTube channel. What's it called?
Rider's Realm, baby. Head over, subscribe.
All right, I'll leave you guys a link for his channel. But this is a pretty serious video, I guess, right? In a lot of ways, but
I'd say so.
Yeah. So what happened was a couple of weeks ago, we got a phone call that Cam was in a motorcycle accident. So I got that phone call, and if you guys, I just want to tell you guys before we go forward, are you okay?
I'm fine.
He's fine.
I'm good.
He's a little, he was a little shooken up, but before we get into this video, I just want to tell you guys of the parents out there that if you guys have children that ride, then you'll probably definitely want to watch this video. I kind of want to let you know, this is not only about Cam's accident, which I'll leave you guys a link down in the video description to his channel, and he also made a video, a little more detailed video about the bike, about the accident, how the bike looks, whether they totaled it or not, and we're going to go over basically what happened in the accident, kind of what my thought processes are, and maybe how you should react as a parent. So when we got the phone call, when did it happen?
It was December 7th around, I don't know, 5 p.m. I think.
5 p.m.?
Yeah. I was on my way to the Harley Davidson, actually, as it happened.
All right, so, basically we got the phone call, or I got the phone call. I was home, that he was involved in a motorcycle accident. And if this ever happened to you guys out there as a parent, it is a absolutely horrible, disgusting feeling. I don't know what other way I could put it. It just pretty much your throat starts closing up, your heart starts pounding. And then obviously I had to tell his mom and just kind of keep the tone down in a calm way so nobody overreacts, because we didn't know what happened really.
Right. Yeah.
But we got the phone call that he was in an accident, and we got the location, and pretty much me and mom head out, hopped in the car immediately, and we went to the location, which was, I don't know, I would say 2 miles away, 3 miles away.
Yeah,
It was
on Essex, so it was down the street from the Bergen Harley.
So it was close to home, and that's, if you guys don't know, the majority of motorcycle accidents actually happen only a few miles away from your house. If you look at all the statistics, it's not really on the highway, believe it or not, but it's on all these side streets, and it's fairly close to home. So why don't you tell them what happened?
Yeah, well, I was heading straight down on my way to the Harley Davidson, and, green light, good to go. Going straight through a main intersection, and there was a very impatient driver in the lane opposite to me, facing me. So they decided to swing out in front of me as I'm going through the intersection, and I kind of T-boned right into their engine bay, kind of on the passenger side, and I did a full front flip over the car. That's and crazy. Landed on the other side. So, it wasn't fun, no, but I knew I was going to be okay. As it was happening, I kind of thought like, this is about to happen, but never once did it cross my mind that I would die or have any serious injury. Just given the scenario, I wasn't speeding, I was going the speed limit, so I figured it wouldn't, at the very worst, my bike would be wrecked.
So what happened? You just did a flip over the bars?
Yeah. Full flip, like literally right over the bars and flat
onto the hood?
Onto the other side of the car, flat on my back on the street.
Oh, you didn't land on it?
No.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay. No. All right. So you just pretty much somersaulted over the car.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is kind of a blur. I don't exactly remember the nitty gritty, but
Yeah, it happens. It happens so fast.
right.
I mean,
I will tell you though, I do remember scraping myself up and seeing my bike on on the road, and that's where the rage came in. I got pissed. I wasn't even upset about the my own health. I was more pissed off that my bike had just been wrecked in the middle of the street.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of accidents like this where he had the right of way and a car was waiting. That's basically what happened when me and Mom pulled up to the scene. They were already, Harley Davidson of Bergen County, they already were loading up his bike onto the truck. Huge shout out to them.
I gotta give them a huge thank you. They've saved my ass more than once. I used to work with them. I mean, I still do. I'm currently not for the winter, but they've helped me out more than once. Where my bike has died on the street, and
you just called them and they came
I
right
call
out.
them, they come right out with the tow truck and bring me back to the shop, like no questions asked.
Yeah, that's huge.
Huge thank you to them, honestly.
Yeah, so when we pulled up to the scene, it was clear as day where Cam was riding straight. It was a green light for obviously Cam and the other vehicle, but that person just basically made a left, cut right in front of Cam, and no skid marks, nothing. He was doing the speed limit. And you could also tell because of the amount of damage. Again, I'm not going to get into that. Check out his channel. And
Got plenty of footage.
You guys could see the bike, but if it was at a high rate of speed, I'll tell you now, it would have not been good.
Oh yeah, a lot worse.
It would
Definitely a lot worse.
Yeah, it would have been night and day. And that's where I personally, Cam's new to riding, but I've been riding over 30 years. And I personally have seen at least, I'm going to say 10 to 15 major motorcycle accidents, like right in front of me.
Wow.
And there was one where I literally had to put a tourniquet around somebody's leg. I told you that story. I don't want to get into who it was and stuff like that. It was somebody I didn't know. And I watched the entire accident unfold. And it was basically the same thing. This gentleman was going straight, car cut in front of him. I was at the other light, actually in one of my work trucks years ago. But because I guess how he hit, it kind of sandwiched his bike up against the car. And it was pretty bad, to say the least. I literally, like I said, I had to put a tourniquet around the guy's leg because he would have probably bled out. But don't want to get into that. Thank God Cam's okay. I just want to say that the high rate of speed, that's what does the damage. And people might think that motorcycles may get into most accidents on the highway. That's not actually true.
No.
It's actually around home, closest to when you're home, where there's a lot of intersections, where there's a lot of driveways, hidden driveways, stores, where people could pull out and they're just in a rush or they don't see you. And obviously a motorcycle has a lot less visibility than a car, right? So either way, it's a lot less surface area. They don't see you, or they just don't care.
Exactly.
They just pull out. They think they see
They
you.
got the time. That's
Right.
exactly what happened. The woman in the lane opposite to me, she must have thought, oh, I still got
I'll
time.
make it.
I'll make it. Even though there was probably 10 cars coming her way. It wasn't just me in the street. There was a whole line of cars in the 3-lane intersection.
Right.
And I think she just decided to jump the gun. She didn't want to wait. And where'd that get her? It got her a night, talking to the cops. And
yeah, and I mean, who knows really whether she didn't see you or whether she thought, like, who actually knows? Right. But regardless, I don't know if you guys know this, but a motorcycle does not stop faster than a car.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you go to like Car Wow channel, I watch that channel a lot. They do a lot of drag racing, right? And they'll also put up high performance cars against high performance motorcycles, even like GP bikes and like my S1000RR or any other sport bike. And they do a rolling 100 mile an hour test. They roll 100 miles an hour. They both slam on their brakes. And every single time the car literally stops like 50 to 100 feet faster or sooner than a motorcycle does. But you would probably think that a motorcycle is capable, because it's lighter, capable of stopping sooner, but that's not the case.
You got much more traction on the car. I got 4 wheels,
Absolutely.
four calipers. A motorcycle, you got 2 skinny tires with,
Yeah.
2 little calipers. So it doesn't
And
really
little
matter.
tires instead of wide tires
yeah.
for that traction and grip and stuff like that. So a motorcycle does not stop quicker than a car. So, obviously there was no skid marks. I was there. There was the cops seen. Yeah, and he didn't have ABS on the Dyna. There was no skid marks, no time to stop because the car just came out. Right.
Yeah, so I made it about halfway into the intersection before I saw this person just swing out in front of me, totally cut me off. So I didn't even get the chance to squeeze the brake at all. It was just brace for impact at that point. I kind of had to accept my fate.
So they took the bike, and there was literally minimal damage to the lady's car. But we did take, obviously, Cam to the hospital, have him checked out and stuff like that. You should always do that. You don't know. And good thing we did, because what did they say you had?
Yeah, so I had a concussion for a little while. I didn't have any broken bones, thankfully, but a little bit of bruising, scrapes and scratches, different places. But I had a lot of joint pain and soreness, and honestly, I still do. My wrist, still a little bit of pain in my wrist.
Yeah.
A lot of muscle pain. I felt it in my shoulders, like whiplash in my neck. Lower back, by the glutes, the legs, because my legs must have smacked right into the handlebars and launched me over. That's what causing the flip. But I could tell my hands rolled over the grips, because I felt a lot of joint pain in my wrist.
And when you guys go to his channel and see the video of the bike, you'll understand like why he's in the pain that he is. But like I said, thank God he was going the speed limit, because it definitely could have been a lot worse. But that's that. And you could definitely, like I said, head on over to his channel, check out the rest of the story. But what I wanted to really get into on my channel is I've taken, before he even got his license, we went out dirt bike. His dad even took him out dirt bike riding since you were like 12, 13.
I've been riding with him, my father since I was probably 12. I got my first dirt bike for Christmas.
Yeah, so like if you guys are new to this channel, Cam's my stepson, but I call him my son. But his dad, used to take him dirt bike riding, and then I took him a bunch of times. So he had a lot of experience riding. And then obviously, it's just like me when I started riding 16 years old. Once it's in you, it's in you.
Oh yeah. It's in my blood. I can't
it's in your blood, and even when I remember when I was a kid playing with Matchbox cars.
Yeah.
Anything with an engine, Absolutely. Even grandpa lighting up the lawnmower. I mean, whatever, any kind of combustible engine, you know what I mean?
I actually used
combustion engine,
Right, I used to, with grandpa, I used to take apart and reassemble small engines from lawnmowers, and
that's when you know which way your child's gonna go. So that was the same with me. And my point being is like it was already, it's in his blood. And it was in his blood before even 13 or 12 years old, when his dad used to or started to take him out on his dirt bikes, or or even before I took him out dirt bike riding. He already had it in his blood. His mind, his heart knew where he wanted it, right? Where you wanted to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was to be on a motorcycle, and that's exactly how I was. So I've been riding over 30 years, and I remember my mom, my first bike was literally a GSX-R 600, which is fat.
Not a beginner bike.
But then again, this was back in 1989, 1990. For the time, it was very fast. Obviously, today's standards, it's still fast, but not as fast.
No joke. Yeah, that's a pretty quick bike.
But I remember my mom, like literally like, oh my God, Johnny, like, what are you doing? Oh my God. That's just the normal reaction, especially for a person like my mom. She never rode or really understood riding or stuff like that. But the point I'm trying to get to is like where I've been riding over 30 something years. Mom actually has her motorcycle license and used to ride, but doesn't anymore.
She gave it up for me.
Well, also, we have kind of a communication between me and mom where I won't even take her on the bike. She's not riding because no matter what, we have 4 kids, no matter what, somebody's got to be here to hold down the fort. You know, and motorcycle riding is dangerous. No matter how you look at it, obviously it's a beautiful, beautiful sport, hobby, whatever you want to call it, but it is a dangerous one.
Right.
But like, so now as a parent, yes, before he even started riding, like I felt safer, obviously, when I used to take you dirt bike riding because I knew, hey, we go to the property, we go on the grass and we rip around.
Yeah, you don't
Still
have to worry
dangerous.
about other people. That's the thing.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anybody else, but it's still a little dangerous, but it's not like you just said. You don't have to worry about that car pulling it in front of you or who knows, or somebody hitting you in the back. Like there's so many things to worry about. And me, mom, his grandparents, always worried when he'd go out on the bike, always, no matter what. But it's like, what am I going to tell him? It's like I look back and say, okay, I remember my mom saying, Johnny, you got to get off that thing, or I don't want you. Like, you gonna listen?
Right. It's something
No.
that you love to do. You know, it's
Right.
hard to tell somebody that they can't do something they love. You know, especially because that causes resentment in a way. You know,
That's true too.
Right. So you
Yeah.
never want to scare someone out of something that they love because
Right.
you're afraid. You know, it's very.
Right,
I get the sacrifice. You know, I've never been a parent. I don't have a child yet.
Yeah.
But when I do, I'm sure I'll feel the same way. You know,
And you will.
I'll be terrified
Yeah.
for them to do anything dangerous, but at the same time, you know, out of love for them, I would never be able to stop them from doing something that they really love to
And
do.
plus you ride, so you understand those feelings. But if, like I said, like if you were like my mom, she never rode, so I think it was a little worse for her in understanding my feelings of the love for riding. It's like the same thing I could tell you guys, even though it's not in the same danger category. Like if I tell you, you got to stop playing golf, or you got to stop hunting, or you have to, whatever you love doing, you got to stop.
Right.
You're not going to stop. So you're going to, and you shouldn't, right? You should do what you love. We live once. That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
You're here. We're here one time on this planet. And if you can't do the things you love, like even though like I look at his grandpa, my father-in-law, he went skydiving. Like that's something, and I was even in the Air Force. I never went skydiving, and I would say you're fucking crazy. Like I'll never get in a good plane. That's what we always used to say in the Air Force. You never jump out of a perfectly good airplane, right? You only jump out of an airplane that is like got all engines are failing and the thing's going down, right? So it's like he went skydiving. He's done a lot of cool things. But it's like, if somebody likes skydiving, like, even if it's your child, like, what are you going to tell them? Don't do it. Like you said, the resentment. And I don't know, like if somebody told me, John, you cannot ride your motorcycle no more, I honestly, I don't know what I would do.
Say goodbye. I'm riding elsewhere then.
No, but I mean, like, I would literally, no, if like, say God came down and said, John, I am banning you from riding anything other than 4 wheels. It would literally be like a prison.
Yeah.
It would literally be like a prison because not only do I love the motorcycle culture, the riding, but it's also a stress reliever.
It is, absolutely.
It's a huge stress reliever. I'm sure you realize that now, right?
I feel like a caged tiger. Not having a bike. I'm like, anxious often. I always think, man, it'd be great to get out for a ride. But
like how many times you say like, because he's in college now, school's stressing me out, blah, blah, blah. I got a lot of midterms. I got a lot of exams. I got a lot of homework. But then you hop on your bike and wow, right?
Just so visceral about cracking the throttle, riding down the road. You just hear the sound of the motor. You're in your own thoughts. It's unlike anything else.
And then you come back and you feel totally different, don't you?
Absolutely.
That's how I feel. Yeah. So it's like there's so many, it's not only fun, hobby, sport, whatever you want to call it, but it's literally the best medicine for mind, body, and soul that you could possibly do. I don't care what any doctor wants to prescribe you some antidepressants or this bullshit or that bullshit. Hop on a motorcycle, because once you do that, you're focused in on riding. All your problems kind of just melt away.
Right.
That's why they use the terminology wind therapy, right? Because it's true.
Exactly.
So that's the point I was getting to is like, okay, we were worried that he was going to get into the accident, hoping that he never was going to get into the accident, but now he did get into the accident. Right. So now what do you do as a parent? I'll tell you right now, you hop back on that horse, right? You hop back on the horse. Am I going to be worried? Is mom going to be worried? Is the rest of the family going to? Of course, we're always going to worry, right? But you can't tell him or me or anybody else to stop doing what they love, right? And I would suggest if you're going to keep riding and if it's your passion and you love to do it, hop back on that horse as quickly as possible.
Definitely.
Because a lot of times people, like, thank God he wasn't really hurt, right? Thank God. But a lot of times people will go through the same types, of accidents, not really getting hurt, but maybe it'll just mentally screw them up. And then they're scared to get back on a bike. It happens. Like, you're not, right?
No, for me, it actually
what do you
had
think?
the opposite effect. And I explain this a lot deeper in my video.
Oh, you do? Okay.
You know, I'm almost glad in a way, if that's, I know that sounds
that's a
strange,
good point.
but I'm glad it happened because I got, minimal injuries. I turned out completely fine. But it gave me the insight. It gave me now the insight,
Yes.
of the dangers that really could happen. Because, a lot of people, especially around my age, I'm in my 20s, so...
It's almost like a wake-up call.
Exactly. So a lot of people, they have this sense of, invincibility. Like, nothing bad can happen to me.
Yes. I've seen a lot of people like that.
Right, until it does. And that's exactly what happened.
I see a lot of people, that's a very good point that he made. I see a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, maybe nothing ever happened to them, but still riding like they're invincible, still not really having that 360 mentality in their head. Like, you got to have eyes behind your head. That we always say that. You know what I mean? Head on a swivel, we always say. You have to have that mentality always. Never be complacent that, hey, okay, I'm going through this intersection, this car sees me.
Yeah.
How many times I told you that, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes, like him, and I'm sure he was cognitive of it, but sometimes things happen so quickly that you just don't have time to react.
Right.
So that's where the proper speed and stuff kind of goes into play.
Right. So, yeah, on a motorcycle, green doesn't always mean go. I will never go the speed limit through an intersection. From now on, it's get up close. I'll even yield to an intersection. If I even have the right of way, I'll stop. I'll slow down. I'll make, triple check before I go through because, it takes one idiot driver to really ruin your day or worse, really ruin your life.
Or even, even it could be the best person in the world, but God forbid, maybe they just don't see you or whatever. There could be so many reasons, but you have to watch out if you're crossing intersections, if you have a lot of driveways, side streets. Just because you have a go and there's a stop sign, don't think that people are going to see that stop sign. That's always in my head. A lot of times people always ask me in my videos, why do I have one finger on the clutch and one finger on the brake when I'm riding? Throttle, brake, throttle, brake. I never hold the grips. Almost never hold the grips with a full hand. I always have either one or two fingers on the brake, unless it's like on a highway or something like that, because you never know. Right. So that split second or two that it takes you to go to the brake, that could be like literally life or death.
Absolutely.
You don't know. Keep your foot, even your right foot, on the brake pedal when you're driving through town. A lot of people through town, I did videos about this, they got their feet up. They got one hand on the bar.
Easy rider,
feet up. How long is it going to take you to put your hand on the brake or your foot down and you think you're even going to make it to the brake if you just literally shit your pants because you just seen a car pull out in front of you? Yeah. You're going to miss it. So be prepared. When you're on a highway, that's okay. Feet up, kick it up, cruise control, you're cruising. That's why I always tell people, go a little bit faster than that's what I do. Don't listen to me, but that's what I do. I go a little bit faster than the speed of traffic because I don't want to get hit behind. I want to make sure I'm passing traffic. I don't want to be doing 50 miles an hour on a highway where people are passing me 70 miles an hour. What if they don't see me and run right into the back of me? You know, on the highway, that could be devastating.
Oh, yeah.
But as a parent, to go back to it, I'm not going to tell him don't ride. His mom's not going to say that. His grandparents didn't say that. None of us are going to tell him that because we know. Like, I know he loves this sport hobby just as much as I do, and that's why I would never tell you not to give. You know that, right? Not to give it up. Not to give it up. So, as far as I don't know what else we could go over, but I just wanted to tell you guys this story as far as a parent because it could be a hard situation. Do you not let your child ride? Do you let your child ride? What do you do? Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm not telling you guys to do the same thing, but this may help you kind of make a decision with that. And it's just about the more experience. Oh, I want to get back to the point you just made. It's about just him getting more experience as a rider and getting back to that point. I said the same thing to your mom. I didn't tell you this, but I said the same thing. Thank God that nothing happened, but also I was kind of a little bit happy that it did happen, but nothing happened because now I'm sure when you hop back on a motorcycle, it may sound crazy, but it's true. He will have that sixth sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're going to have that sixth sense because you know what the possibilities are. You know what just happened. It's almost like, you know, what is it? Homer Simpson or his son touching the stove. Ow, 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 ow. So like, you know, if it doesn't have, like he didn't learn his lesson, but my point being, if you touch a hot stove, you're not going to friggin' touch it again.
Right, exactly. You know, you kind of...
not that you did something wrong.
No,
all I'm saying is when
you pay a lot more attention to what could happen. Because,
that's right.
You just assume, you say, oh, I see it online. I've seen people have accidents, but it won't happen to me. I'm a good rider.
Yeah.
An event like this where I had literally zero control over the situation,
right,
you know, it was going to happen no matter what I did. It kind of teaches you that, you know, it doesn't matter how good of a rider you think you are. If you've been riding your entire life, you can't trust anyone on the road. You can only trust yourself, and that doesn't go very far when you're on a motorcycle, you know, especially when you got people all around,
all over.
You know, everybody, anybody, you know, even 16-year-old kids have a driver's license in the United States. So it's like, you know, you can't exactly trust your own skill when you're on the road. You got to be cognizant of literally everything. You got to, you know, think twice about any move you make.
Yeah. I made several videos about like kind of safety riding. If you guys want to check them, I don't know, like probably a year or two, but it's like not getting close to cars, staying away, trying to make as much space away from all the cars on the road from you as possible. Like I see people like literally passing cars like a foot, 2 feet away. You don't know if that car is going to turn. You don't know if they see you, hear you, stuff like that. So you really, really just have to be head on a swivel, cognitive of where you are, and always thinking ahead. It's almost like a precautionary. Like, what if you're pulling up to an intersection? Okay, what if he doesn't see that stop sign? That's how you have to think. Don't be complacent and say, he sees the stop sign. He sees the red light. He sees me. Don't ever think like that, because when you think like that, it is not a question of if it's going to happen. It's just a question of when. Right. That's it. It's going to happen, right? It's going to happen.
You got to assume everyone wants to kill you on the road.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. You know, it's wild out there. But like I said, if you're smart and you know do the things we just told you to do, it's a great sport. It's a safe sport. That's why I always tell you guys my favorite time of riding is Saturday, Sunday, early mornings. We leave the house like 6, 7 a.m. Get out there. Least possible amount of traffic and come back home by like 12. You got 5-6 hours of riding and
nobody on the road,
and you're good to go. But I don't know, what else can we cover?
I don't know. I got nothing more to say, I think.
No? Well, you got more except on your channel, right?
Yeah, I got more to say.
Yeah, so that's...
I don't want to give it all away.
Yeah, no. We definitely don't want... That's. I just wanted to bring kind of my version as a parent, right? Yeah. And how maybe, you know, you guys can react. You don't want to react harsh or mad. Wasn't his fault. If it was his fault, then yeah, obviously we would be pretty pissed off. But it wasn't. I know how Cam rides. He rides in his means, within his means. He rides safe, and he's kind of just a chill rider, right?
Yeah, I really have no desire to go fast,
Yeah.
on a motorcycle. I never really did on the bike.
Thank God.
Just because the whole allure to motorcycle riding for me was just the relaxing open road,
Right.
enjoying the scenery. That's the best part, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
what really separates bikes from cars. Is just you feel outside. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like you get to look around at everything.
Right.
You get to really feel like you're there instead of just inside a fishbowl on the highway. So I feel like a lot of that kind of gets taken away if you're speeding around.
True.
I
Everything's a blur.
Right. I enjoy just slow moving speeds. Enjoy where you are. Live in the moment. I have no desire to go fast on the bike, really.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say, don't stop your loved one from doing what they love. If anything, help them get back on that horse, so to speak, and keep doing what they love. Because, like I said, if you tried taking something away from me, like motorcycles away, I'd go into a depression. Like I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, you really do.
I don't know what I would do,
You get
man.
one chance. I'd rather die doing something I love than live my whole life fighting it. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true, brother.
I wouldn't waste my life being afraid of the things that I really care about.
Absolutely, absolutely. So listen, that's it. Hope this video helped you guys. Head on over to his channel. You can check out the video. He'll show you the bike. He'll show you the damage and give you guys the outcome of what happened to it. And me and Cam have something awesome. We can't talk about it, right? In about a little over a month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But something amazing. Can't say. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys. Next video is going to be showing you guys this amazing YouTube studio / garage / whatever you want to call it video. Show you guys how everything came out. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.
See ya.